My grandpa was born on October 20th, 1931 in Wahoo, Nebraska. He grew up on a farm, but moved to Hawthorne, California when grasshoppers devastated his family's crops. My grandma grew up on a farm in Oklahoma. World War II and the Depression forced her family to move to Southern California to find jobs because a farm could not support her family. Later, they returned to Oklahoma as her father was very ill. When he died, her sisters were married and decided to stay, while she returned to California with her mother. Although her mother was very qualified, she had difficulties getting a job because businesses wanted young women and there was a great deal of gender inequality present in the workplace. My grandparents met at a church youth group on a hayride in 1949. My grandpa likes to talk about how he originally did not show interest in her, but after he saw, quote, her hair just blowing in the wind and her gleeful spirit, he knew she was special. They dated for 2 years and were married on October 19, 1951. Soon after, my grandpa was drafted into the Army for the Korean War. Throughout my grandpa's life, he was very involved in war. As a child in LA during World War II, my grandpa raised rabbits for meat and skins and delivered newspapers. Since it was rumored that the Japanese had submarines in the Pacific, he and his brother helped run throughout his neighborhood at night, making sure that all lights were off or windows were blacked. He remembers participating in bomb drills or lying on the grass listening to the anti-aircraft guns firing at nothing, imagining the jets flying through the sky. In the Korean War, my grandpa was a cook stationed at Bryce Norton Air Force Base in England, part of the anti-aircraft unit. Learning about my grandpa's time in the Army has taught me what he sacrificed to serve his country. Although he did not have a tour in Korea itself, he was separated from his newlywed wife and his life at home. His role in England was vital as there were still troops remaining there from World War II. Even though he made the most of his time in the Army, he still missed his home as contact was very difficult overseas. His service helped preserve the freedom we enjoy today. During the time he was gone, my grandma lived with her mother while working as a secretary. She was able to save both her and my grandpa's paychecks so that when my grandpa returned, they were able to buy a house and furnishings. The initial fee for this house was $250. They then had my uncle, Bruce Freeberg, in 1955. From that point on, my grandma became a stay-at-home mom until their kids reached high school. One story my grandparents like to tell is how my father as a child wanted to be a trash man. He fell in love with a toy trash truck when he was little and aspired to be one when he was older. My grandparents were relieved when he became interested in flying, joining the Air Force and later becoming a pilot for United Airlines. My family has a lot of history with the military, and I admire the commitment and patriotism they have shown towards our country.